The soil beneath your feet holds a massive, living apothecary. Every weed, root, and leaf operates by a strict set of biological rules. By the end of this guide, you will know exactly how to walk into the brush, positively identify a native botanical, and harvest its active compounds without damaging the ecosystem. We are working toward a safely curated collection of true medicinal plants, like fresh buchu leaves and bulbine succulents, ready for extraction. But before we step off the path, you have to agree to the baseline rule of this space. This placard states our boundaries. This is educational storytelling, not medical advice. You must pledge to never harvest what you cannot name. Accessing these compounds requires passing specific tests of visual identification and ecological stewardship before the first leaf is ever cut. Walk into the wild Fynbos, and the underbrush quickly becomes a wall of chaotic green. Leaves overlap, shadows bend, and dozens of different species tangle together in the soil. This diagram outlines the four-step loop that governs the wild pharmacy. Every time you approach a station, you must identify, harvest, extract, and concoct. We begin with the first and most crucial phase, identification. If you fail this step, the rest of the loop collapses. Positive identification requires a strict checklist. You have to cross-reference the exact shape of the leaf, the shadow it casts, and the specific structure of its flowers. We call the danger hiding in the brush the Minotaur. These are the toxic lookalikes, the weeds built with a visual structure designed to trick an uneducated forager. Look at this comparison. Left is the true bulbine plant with its distinct star-shaped flower. Right is a toxic mimic with almost identical succulent foliage. Because toxic mimics copy foliage so perfectly, you should never rely on leaf shape alone. If a plant is not in bloom and you cannot verify its flower, you leave it in the ground. This strict multi-point verification is the physical boundary line that separates natural medicine from accidental poisoning. Once you have confirmed your target, you move close to the soil and prepare your tools. This brings us to step 2 of the loop, harvest. You approach the correct part of the plant with profound gratitude for what it took to grow. With a single cut, you remove the outer material you need while leaving the main structural stalk completely undisturbed. The absolute conservation rule for any wild foraging is simple. Take the leaf and spare the bark. The stakes here are permanent. Native species like African wild ginger and pepperbark are currently critically endangered because foragers stripped their bark or uprooted the entire rhizome. Improper technique and over-harvesting greed will wipe out this ecosystem, destroying the Earth's pharmacy for future generations. Practicing this level of restraint ensures the wild apothecary can recover and regenerate after a harvest, keeping the pharmacy stocked for the next season. We take our freshly gathered clippings out of the brush and into a clean, well-lit indoor workspace. Here we start the third step of the loop, extraction. This is where you physically break the cellular structure of the plant to release its active gifts. By walking a plant through this complete cycle, from a wild shadow in the dirt to a finished applied remedy, the material achieves its purpose. You have now walked the full 4-step loop. You identified the plant, harvested the correct part, extracted the active compounds, and concocted your remedy. You navigated past the Minotaur's toxic mimics and secured your ingredients without damaging the mother plant or the soil. If you want to scale up these techniques, open the interactive kitchen alchemy lab or load the next bit soil guide on long-term tincture preservation. This 4-step loop turns the backyard brush into a functional, safely practiced pharmacy that you can navigate with confidence.